Hey, how you feeling on this full buck moon in Capricorn? The energy's interesting today. There's a lot swirling around out there, and so I thought I would just kind of take it to the streets, get out in the elements, get out in the flow of life, the flow of traffic, and just see what wants to come in with one of our old school, straight to the point, straight from the hip with lots of lip. Uh, Cartomancy reads, okay, so I just want to tap into this energy. There might be something that you're taking back to the start, something that you are unraveling to bring back together in a new way, something that produces a more effective result than past attempts, okay? There might have been something that got a little too complex, a little too convoluted, and you're just really wanting to return things to a state of simplicity, all right? So let's see what's coming in here. We're going to just tap into the energy and get a message for the collective, okay? Yeah, I see. Bottom of the deck, 10 of diamonds. There's the desire here to recover some kind of treasure now that there's a new sense of understanding about what went awry in the past. All right. So this is trying to get something right. The end is the beginning. The beginning is how it will end. Okay. So there's something that was only understood in hindsight that there's clarification around now. And so you're getting a clearer view about the right way to proceed. 144 on the clock. Yeah, I really feel like whatever you're setting in motion now, it's getting put in motion on the right foundation. Maybe the proper foundation is something that was lacking the first time around, your first stab at something. This is interesting because this card was holding things up and it got all bent out of shape. So I'm going to have a look at it. Oh, yeah, this was like a misfire, man. Misuse of power. A misuse of power always leads to being disempowered. Okay. Somebody could have been dealing with you like this. You may have recognized, I think I used a little too much force there. I was a little too heavy handed. Maybe I need to consider more sides of this equation than just the variables that I have within my possession. Okay. And there also might be something here about not really working with the full deck. Okay. You got to bring in all the other court cards here to get a comprehensive view of a situation, especially if you're dealing with some kind of group dynamic. It can't just be all your way. Anytime you're working with other people, this is really a time to figure out how can we have sort of a common meeting ground here? Or is there something that we can agree on here? Let's start there. Is there something we can agree on? Maybe we can agree that this got totally effed up. All right. This is not the way it was supposed to go. Even if we just start from this sort of ground level, there can be an opportunity to create something new for the future. So let's see what wants to come in here. I do feel like there's a lot of elements that are sort of being moved around at this time. There's a lot of shuffling the deck, so to speak, maybe even shuffling up the players in a certain dynamic, recognizing who the jokers are in the mix. And the jokers in terms of who are the merrymakers, who's there to contribute to having a good time. Ooh, yeah, and who needs to be cast aside. And just as I said that, we got the King of Hearts coming up in the shadow, coming on through. All right. This is somebody who, was really set on having their way. They wanted their desires fulfilled. They had their heart set on a certain outcome, but the outcome that they had in mind wasn't really considering what was best for everybody involved. Okay. And I do feel with the Four of Spades here also coming up in the shadow as the basis of this conflict that somebody is now trying to turn around because something got really messy here with the Five of Clubs in reverse. Somebody's wanting to flip this up and reverse it, especially in relation to somebody that they feel they have some kind of heart connection with. I mean, they want to move forward in a way that brings some kind of success, some kind of, good outcome for all involved here. And they're tired of things dragging and being in a state where they're really being held back here because it's just leading to disappointment. But there's something about the way that somebody's been moving something forward needs some reconsideration with that Four of Spades coming up in the shadow. It's like Somebody's being told to sit down. You need to get another view of a situation here because it ain't been right, man. That's what I see. However, somebody's been moving. It's been really out of harmony with what's just, what's fair, what's right in a situation. It's interesting because I'm looking at this tree over here. And at the base of the trunk is like the roots of the matter. There's like this cat. There's like this cat etched into the wood, just like the way the bark is forming. It's making me think of the Cheshire Cat. So I feel like whoever this character is who's been causing some complication in a situation, they're a bit of a Cheshire Cat kind of character, you know? Yeah, they promised Wonderland, but yet they got all kinds of tricks up their sleeves. And, you know, under that gleaming light of the moon, the only thing you can really see is their toothy grin, right? This is somebody who definitely is a little bit tricky. They also know how to make themselves invisible. So I do feel like somebody's been concealed here, but somebody is about to be revealed. And maybe that's why they're having to take a few seats, get a clearer view of a situation here. So far, in terms of astrological energies, we have had water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn come out here. Okay, they could be factoring in to this situation, certainly with Capricorn at the forefront. Oh, and now we got some air joining the mix. We got some air joining the mix with this Jack of Spades here. Okay, so this is somebody who's been moving forward a little bit ruthlessly too. Yes, I see that. And with the Eight of Spades here coming to light, I think they're recognizing that to move forward in this way is only going to continue to get matters caught up at the crossroads. It's not going to be moving forward any quicker by going at something relentlessly here, right? There's a need to get a little bit of recalibration, get a lay of the land, get a clearer view of what is the best way to move forward, not just for one's personal objectives, but it seems like there's like some kind of group dynamic here. So more than just one person's desires, objectives need to be considered here in order for this to work out. Yeah. I do feel like there's one person here who is really breaking from the pack because they realize maybe some people that they've been aligned with have been causing some kind of loss for them. The people they've been aligned with have actually been separating them from their end goal, maybe even working at odds against them. This could be a couple of people they've been aligned with who have been problematic here. This could also be a situation where somebody, maybe this Cheshire Cat character, got involved in the mix and complicated everything. And so it could be that there's a couple people here that are breaking away from this influence as well to figure out a new way forward. Whatever this is, it feels like it's a case of back to the drawing board, needing to get a clear perspective based on new insights that are coming to light. So I do feel like there's some stuff that has been hidden, that's been concealed, that is coming to light with this full moon energy. And of course, you know, these lunar cycles as they usher in, this is closing up the lunar cycle that got kicked off with the Cancer new moon that we had on the 25th. And it will come to fruition with this full moon energy coming in, where we're really working with that energy of not only releasing our old objectives, letting go of our old plans, but also sort of germinating and figuring out how we want to see the future. So what we want can come into shore, okay? With the Three of Clubs here. And definitely, this is a plan that needs revising because this is exhausting. Like, this is moving up against nothing but obstacles. And I feel like it doesn't really need to be like that. I see there is a Queen of Spades here coming up in the light who may be recognizing that there are some things that they need to walk away from, or some people they need to walk away from because they are being held back by these forces. With the Eight of Hearts coming up in the shadow, these forces are causing a lot of loss for them and are actually the thing that is Xing out this Ace of Pentacles, this new beginning that they're wanting. And see, when they separate themselves from these forces, here comes the ace of diamonds. Here comes that treasure that they're trying to recover here. And this makes somebody burn, man. Whoever they're separating themselves from is really bitter about this. Jack of clubs energy coming up in the shadow. Again, somebody who's a little too much in their ego, somebody who is working at cross purposes, somebody who has more selfish motive, and they're just causing a lot of problems in this situation with the 3 of spades coming up in the shadow. They want to kind of pull this person back in who's breaking from the pack. Looks like it's a queen of spades that's breaking from the pack, and the king of spades is trying to rope them back in because they have their heart set on a particular outcome. They feel like, no, we're in alignment, queen of spades, don't go. But there's something here that's off. Like whoever this character is that's trying to rope the queen of spades back into this whole dynamic, they're aligned with somebody who is really making a mess of things. I have to say, they're aligned with somebody who's like a total shit stir. Okay. And until they clear this influence out, I feel like this queen of spades is very clear. Nope. I need to separate myself from this dynamic. I do feel like the separation itself will bring clarification though. Sometimes that's what's required. And it was 11:29 on the clock. So whoever's saying, I'm out of this, like whatever you all got going on there, that's all good. That's not me. I'm going my own way. I got a new beginning for myself. I know what I need to invest in. And all that came in with 11:29 on the clock. So that's that 11:11 energy. There is something opening up here, but I do feel like this King of Hearts, he comes up in the light now, moving out of the shadow, is getting illumination. And the illumination that this character is getting is recognizing, oh, I see now how this dynamic, who I've been connected to, is actually like the fly in the ointment here. And see, this is what turns everything around. Okay, so there's a transformation underway here. Somebody has been a trickster in this situation, and they've been moving forward in such a way where they thought that they were being really clever or they were pulling the wool over someone's eyes. But clearly, this deception and this game has already been seen through. And somebody's like, I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to play games. This is a case where somebody's been hidden below the belt. Somebody hasn't been playing fair. Somebody's been moving forward in such a way where they've only been thinking about themselves, and they've been throwing a whole bunch of people under the bus. I don't think it's just this queen of spades, but perhaps this queen of spades is the first person who sort of, smelled what they were stepping in and was like, you know what? I'm not going to be part of this shit. I'm going to extricate myself from this dynamic because this is a dynamic that won't work. They're very clear that this won't work with the ace of spades coming up in the light. But I do feel like there's somebody here who's still in this position where they really want to exercise their will on a situation. They want it their way or the highway. This person is hell-bent on getting what they want. This is a very selfish kind of energy. But this is not where they're going to experience the wish fulfillment. In fact, it's going to really head south. The more they try to force this, the more they're going to find themselves at a loss with the 6 of clubs coming up in the shadow there. And not only will they find themselves at a loss, but they're also going to find a lot boomeranging back at them. And they're going to be on the defense, warding off a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be whipping back around their way because of the way they've been moving. And they need to really start thinking a lot smarter here, because whatever they've been doing, whatever foundation they've been building here that's been based on lies and trickery and manipulation and only getting their way, it is putting a crack in the foundation of whatever they built here. And it's coming in with the queen of clubs too, also in the shadow. So these are the two. These are the two that are aligned with each other. Okay. We got a queen of clubs. We got a king of clubs, both coming up in the shadow, both using their power in a distorted way, both operating from a real selfish standpoint, both betrayed, thinking that they're getting away with this, thinking that this is something hidden, something that's concealed. It's not. It's already been seen. And where other people have not been able to see this Queen of Spades perspective or think she's just been talking out the side of her neck, I see that this is going to come to light. And the illusion is being effectively brought to an end, all right? And this conflict is about to get resolved in quite an unexpected way. And with this resolution and with things being set right, I do feel like there is a new foundation for moving things forward in the right way. But it's like a back to the start moment. It's like we got to hit reset on this because you can't build from the current place. It's like it's already been corrupted. Something here has really left a bad taste in someone's mouth and it just won't work. I do feel like there's been a lot of shady stuff going around, controlling other people's resources, controlling other people's stability, controlling other people's ability to earn a living. Okay. There's been subterfuge here. It's very clear. And it was in the dark. It was hidden for quite some time. But that's about to change. This greed, this seizing of assets, in some cases, even illegally, moving in such a way that it was unfair, that it disrupted somebody else's foundation. This is being brought to an end. And those who have been using their power in a very corrupt way